Rooted and Rising family, welcome back. Take a breath. As Marco even did. Settle your spirit, open your heart. Today's message is a brand new love story, a modern mythic tale inspired by tarot. So yes, the tarot deck was used to curate the story. This is one that mirrors the journey of transformation, rebirth, and divine partnership. It's the story of Hadassah. If you didn't know, that's me. A woman who has walked through shadows and fire, who has endured heartbreak, betrayal, and countless trials, yet has risen sovereign, sensual, powerful, and whole. This story speaks to those who have survived, who have healed, who are ready to receive a new chapter. A love written not from wounds, but from worthiness. So basically, stories who mirror my own, which, I know quite a bit of the Rooted and Rising family. We mirror each other. So, as always, take what resonates and leave what does not. For some, this will be just a beautiful story in which you can take it however it nourishes your soul. And then for others, it will feel like truth whispered directly to your soul, right? So when I speak of masculine and feminine, I'm speaking of energies, not gender. And know that I will be looking up at the story because this is a sizable story. So I'm not going to remember what is written or what I wrote word for word here. So I will be looking up to reference the story as I tell it all to you, right? So let's step into Hadassah's world, a place where romance meets destiny, pain becomes power, and love arrives when the soul is finally ready. All right, this is the rise of the Empress. The leap. Hadassah stood at the edge of her new beginning. She had left behind the versions of herself shaped by pain. The girl who tolerated too much, who dimmed her light, who survived instead of lived. She stepped into a world where she no longer chased love, she attracted it. She didn't know what her future held, but she was brave enough to leap anyway. Her soul whispered, trust the unknown. And she did. The king of passion. He appeared in her life like fire, confident, magnetic, unapologetically drawn to her. He noticed her without her having to try. The way her softness contrasted her strength, the way she carried heartbreak like a crown polished by survival. He wasn't intimidated by her. He was enchanted. His presence stirred something inside of her, something she thought that she had buried long ago. A spark, a calling, a recognition. The balancing of two worlds. Their connection wasn't simple. Both had obligations. Both had emotions that rose and fell like tides. Both juggled the reality of their past with the hopes of their futures. There were moments when Hadassah felt overwhelmed, caught between protecting her heart and letting it open. There were moments when he felt torn between wanting to rush forward and honoring the pace her heart needed. But even within the balancing act, something sacred was forming. The Empress stands alone, but not lonely. Before him, Hadassah had already built herself into a woman of strength. Independent, self-sufficient, glowing with the kind of beauty that comes from inner healing. She no longer accepted crumbs. She no longer bent herself to be chosen. She was the gift, and she knew it. Her worth was no longer fragile. It was rooted. And he admired that more than anything. A meeting of souls. The moment their hearts truly met, it felt like time folded. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't forced. It was soft, natural. A deep exhale from lifetimes of searching. Their eyes spoke truths words could not form. I see you. I know you. I am not afraid of your depth. For the first time in years, Hadassah felt safe letting someone close. For the first time in years, he felt understood without performing. Their connection wasn't lust, though desire pulsed beneath every glance. It was spiritual, faded, healing. The silence before clarity. But fear has a way of slipping into even the strongest hearts. Hadassah hesitated, unsure if love would abandon her again. He hesitated, unsure if he could give her what she deserved. Their insecurities whispered lies. Doubt clouded the air. The connection paused. Not broken, but suspended. It wasn't rejection. It wasn't departure. It was a moment of inward searching. A necessary stillness before truth could rise. The tower that freed them. And then everything shifted. A sudden realization, a moment of clarity, a breaking of illusions. Hadassah's old wounds resurfaced. Not to hurt her, but to be released. His walls crumbled, not in weakness, but in awakening. The foundation of fear collapsed, making room for something real. Sometimes destruction is the doorway to intimacy. The Queen of Hearts emerges. This time, Hadassah didn't shrink. She didn't flee. She didn't fall apart. She rose with emotional mastery, gentle, intuitive, steady, open. She let him see her vulnerability without abandoning her strength. Her heart wasn't a wound, it was a compass, and it pointed toward him. The king speaks his truth. He approached her not with games or hesitation, but with clarity. His voice held truth. His eyes held devotion. His energy held intention. He didn't want just a moment with her. He wanted a future. A real one. A grounded one. One where they chose each other without fear. The last battle with the past. But before stepping into love, Hadassah confronted one final shadow. A memory. A pattern. A wound inflicted by someone who never deserved her. It resurfaced to test her growth, to ask if she would betray herself again. She didn't. She released it. She reclaimed herself. She won. And the path cleared. Love begins to grow. What formed next wasn't fantasy. It was slow, real, steady. Both poured into the bond. Both showed up. Both tended the connection with intention. Their love wasn't born overnight. It blossomed over time. And it was beautiful. The message of fate. Then came the moment everything clicked in place. A sign, a message, a surge of undeniable clarity and momentum. He knew she was the woman he had been searching for. She knew he was the man her healing had prepared her for. Love moved quickly now, not rushed, but aligned. And Hadassah stepped into her role as the Empress of her own destiny, walking beside a man who matched her spirit, respected her soul, and loved her depth. Their story was no longer about pain. It was about promise. A promise of partnership. A promise of passion. A promise of love worthy of the woman she had become. As always, rooted in rising family. Stay rooted, stay rising, and aligned with all the divine gifts ahead.